Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, Minister, just come in. Look, I've followed regulations at every stage, but I would be against the concept of introducing mandatory wearing of masks in certain settings. And that's not to be anti-mask, that's nothing to do with that, but it's to acknowledge and realise what stage of the pandemic we are at now compared to previously. Personally, I am more than happy to wear a mask if I'm on a train or if I'm on a bus or if I feel that I'm in a crowded place myself. I'm more than happy to do that because I'm an adult and I can take personal responsibility for it. But I don't think at this stage we should be turning around to say we should now introduce mandatory masks in certain settings or certain things like that. We're past that stage of the pandemic, if I can be frank about it. And you know, when we look at what's happening in Italy, what's happening in Germany, where it's mandatory to wear the highest level of mask, and yet the case numbers are still going the same way as it is here. So there's no actual definitive proof that masks are something that help. Fair enough, they can mitigate towards it, but I just think it's a case that, like, we saw it where case numbers creep up and we look like, oh, well, we need to be seen to do something, so let's start wearing masks again. You know, it's a little bit in the Oireachtas for the last 2 weeks. Let's put on our masks. I think it's a level of performative, you know, to it. You know, it's to seem to be doing something rather than listening to the science behind it. And we listen to the science of it. We have said to trust science for the last 2.5 years. We don't have the CMO, we don't have NEFIT, we don't have anyone saying we should reintroduce mandatory masks from a scientific level. So that's just my view of it. And it's not to be anti-mask or anything like that, but it's just to have the debate. We're at a different stage of the pandemic now, and I trust in personal responsibility of people. I will wear a mask in places where I don't feel comfortable or in places where there's too many people, stuff like that. That's no problem. But let's leave it to the personal responsibility of people. That would be my view on it, because I really believe we're just at a different stage of the pandemic than we were previously. And the final thing that I would say about it is it took Vladimir Putin and war on the European continent to kind of end COVID, because for the last 3 months no one's been talking about it in the media. And the media then have a real role to play, and I've said this for the last 2 years. I really felt that the media hyped up anxiety and hyped up tensions, and you see people are much more relaxed and at ease. It hasn't gone away, but people are more relaxed and at ease and living with COVID now, and we're in the natural ebb and flow of this virus, and that's just, we have to get on with living life now, I believe, Minister.
Thanks.